Hello. Dad questions. Question one. What was your favorite childhood memory?
Wow. Uh, well, let me start by saying I'm unprepared for all these questions that will follow. So it's strictly off the cuff. Here comes the lawnmower.
Dad questions part two. Question one. What was your favorite childhood memory?
Favorite childhood memory. I would have to say maybe just spending time with my cousins. We'd go visit Tia Carmen's house pretty often. Do sleepovers, things like that. Back then, back in the day, if you went to the drive-in theater, I think they charged by the number of heads in the car, right? So they had either their family or our family or both of our families, had the old station wagons back in the 70s, right? So I remember some of my cousins, they'd fold the seat back down on one of the station wagons. You'd hide as many kids as you could underneath there, like 3 or 4 kids, right? To avoid having to pay so much to go in there. But just having, family time together, and that's one of my favorite memories. And I think it's just drawn us close over the years and kept us close.
Do you remember a certain movie from the drive-in?
It was probably a Disney movie. I don't remember any specific one, but there was a lot of Disney stuff going on, back in the day. Some of the classics. The Pluto comes to mind, I guess. But nothing specific.
Did you have a cousin that you were closest with?
Yeah, I would say Poncho, Jose. What is like? He and I think would say, and he'd probably agree. I think we were closest together.
Welcome back.
Well,
Dad questions take three. Question two. What was a tradition your family had?
Well, the one thing that just popped in my head was 4th of July. A lot of different families will go out and spend money and do a lot of stuff with fireworks and things like that. And my family, the most we ever spent money on was the sparklers. That was it. That was it. My parents had a valid concern about safety with fireworks, and it probably wasn't in their budget either to be. I mean, I do burning dollar bills, and in some senses, but what I guess when you say tradition, we'd celebrate the holidays. It was very minimal. Like I said, sparklers. We do that. We get out. And sometimes we have a block party, depending on where we were living. So a lot of the neighbors who were, they would have the fireworks and stuff. So we just enjoyed that. And I do remember a few occasions where we went to like a public setting somewhere and watched a fireworks show. So it seems like we often, we do. Something for 4th of July. Either really, either low scale or maybe a little bit more.
Fireworks displays and fireworks events.
Yeah, that kind of thing.
Did you ever light any off yourself?
This is sparklers. That's it. I'm trying to remember if we did like firecrackers and we did them within the family. Maybe if a friend or a neighbor had one, something like that. But it did something like that. But it was kind of few and far between.
What are some of your fondest memories of being a dad?
Well, there's a lot. There's quite a few, and I'll try to answer this without getting emotional, which is going to be tough. But I think you and Jen may agree. I think as a family, some of our fondest memories is our time in Germany. And you guys are old enough to remember that, and I'm thankful for that. I think just how we were able to be more immersed in with the culture there, and with Herman and Marita and their family, and just just the community that we lived in. Two things I often, when I share a story with people, and I'll kind of brag about it a little bit too, is for Jen, it was her time with the soccer club there in Nottingham, and how she progressed very well there. And when we first started, I remember having a conversation with her about, it was going to be tough. I said they really didn't segregate like boys and girls teams like a lot of the American teams did. It was one team, right? And it was mostly boys. And I'm trying to remember, I think there might have been one other girl on there, and I'm not even sure if she was there the whole time. So I said it's going to be tough. I said, but you're going to be a tough player. But if you stick it out, you're the foreigner. So you've got to be accepted here, you got to prove yourself. And she did. She did really well. She really improved her skills. It was very exciting to watch the games and such, and it was different. It was a different environment and culture compared to like some of the American League soccer games you'd see on the base, where some of the parents would just go crazy, right? The Germans, for the most part, were very calm. In fact, they had their beer stand there, right? The beer and the pommes frites, and you could have a nice, bratwurst and stuff, and they wouldn't get stupid crazy. I mean, they cheer for a good play and stuff like that. And those are the things related to her that I remember that I really enjoyed. For yourself, Jimmy, was the German kindergarten. When Marita helped us get you in there, and then we talked to the headmaster. She spoke really good English, and she asked us. She asked her mom and I, "Hey, do you want us to speak English to them?" And I said, "Not a word, just German." And in about 6 months, you were sounding like one of the local boys. You just picked it up. I mean, I think kids in general can pick it up pretty quick. But I remember Eric was one of your best buds there. I don't know if you remember that or remember him. But you guys would hang out together and play, and it was just fun to listen to you guys talk to each other in German. So that was two of my best memories from there.
You mentioned Germany, and there are a lot of memories from Germany, but three that stick out, two of which Jennifer off camera knocked my teeth out on two separate occasions.
Oh my goodness.
Playing the jump rope helicopter game, swinging it around, smacked me right in the mouth.
Yeah.
And then riding bikes down the hill, and I don't remember how, but I went over the handlebars.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Both of those were accidents. They just coincidentally happened around the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mom was
were
mad.
heavily involved. And then another, when you were TDY to Prague, and we went to visit you and got to walk around, and I remember that was the first beer that I had, because we were at some restaurant and you were like, "Hey, take a sip," and I just took a sip of the foam, the head up top, and
I'm glad you hear y'all's memories of this, because I don't remember any of that. So I'm glad to hear that. We have water here.
Well, this isn't a memory. This is a recent event. Jimmy let Clay had her first drink of beer.
Oh my gosh.
He went upstairs to put Isabella down and left his beer on the coffee table, and Clay went.
She had the same reaction.
She snuck it from me. Similar reaction.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What are your hopes for your grandkids?
Again, yeah, try to keep my emotions in check. I think just like any grandparent, you want the best for your grandkids, just like you do your kids. You want them to have. You want them to have it better than you did. And I'm very proud of you guys. Your accomplishments, all your achievements. You guys are just, I couldn't ask for better kids. And I'm hopeful that that they'll be able to follow in your footsteps in a similar manner. That they'll have a lot of the same experiences that you guys had, and a lot of the same successes. So that's my hope for them.
I was born that she was going to be USAFA class of 42, my future fighter pilot.
All right.
Yeah, fighter pilots are even still a thing around that time.
Yeah. That would be cool. Like I said, I see kids following in your footsteps, and then you'll get to experience that same sense of pride too.
Alright. Next question. What do you think is the secret to a good life?
Boy. I think, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Well, and it's funny, especially since I've, had this life challenge here. And with my illness. Finding happiness, you got to be happy. However that is, in whatever form that may be. I'm very happy that you were here. Even though I may not look like it right now on camera, I am very happy, and it's something I treasure. No, I'm not sure I answered your question, but what was the question again?
It was, what do you think the secret to a good life is?
Secret to a good life. Okay. Well, there's, of course we have our work lives too, which is a big part of our lives, and I've often shared with a lot of people is that, if you can find out what your passion is, and then somehow form your occupation or career around your passion, it won't feel like work. And I know I'm kind of just talking about work right now, but we spend the majority of our time at work. So a lot of people say, the people we work with are a lot like our families, because we spend many hours at work. Of course, that's not to say that we've got to have the same, if not more, level of importance with our own families too. So finding that passion, and if it's within your family, whatever that niche is. I know for Jen and Adelia, they like to travel. They do a lot of adventure, type things, and I think they found that, and they do that well together. For your family, I think you're about to start more adventures soon. So but you know, whatever, and maybe you already know what it is, or maybe you're still trying to figure it out and explore yourself, you know. But just kind of finding that common ground. I think.
Question: what advice would you give your younger self?
Wow. Believe it or not, when I was my younger self, I was a party animal, and I wouldn't party so much. That I think that took some years off my life, honestly. So, you know, I know I missed out on a lot. You know, I had a lot of great opportunities early on in my younger self. You know, when I was my first overseas assignment was in England. You know, and I lived in the barracks there, unfortunately, which I think I missed out on a lot of the cultural experiences there. You know, there's a lot of time spent in the pubs and the clubs and things like that, and so I think, you know, cut back on that. You'll hear stories, you know, the older generations that say, "Save your money," and it's true. You know, start early. You know, even if it's just a little bit. You know, start investments in retirement accounts and things like that. You know, IRAs, and if you have a 401k or something, whatever, you know, the equivalent may be that you have, because it really helps give you a good nest egg when you get closer to, you know, the end of your working career. So, I'd say focus on those things. Kind of have, you know, focus on your big picture plan for your life. You know, if it's education, if it's some other career goals, whatever it might be, you know, chart that out, so you have a visual of what that looks like, and then have a plan B in case something falls through. You know, so you're just not stopped at a dead stop. Some final thoughts. Thank you for doing this, first of all. My cousin Poncho that I mentioned earlier, he started doing this with my aunts and uncles some years ago, and I wish we would have thought about it sooner. We could have did it with my parents before they passed. But
I should look at some of his interview questions.
oh yeah, I've got
He
some
probably
good.
has some good ones.
He did, yeah. He kind of went back and asked, you know, shared about some of their childhood memories and things. So kind of along the same lines, you know. But thank you for doing this. I hope, you know, this might be something you can reflect on in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Share with your kids, and you know, hopefully give them some insight into who I am.
We'll do some more videos, Dad.
Yeah. All right. That's it.
Like I did them last time. I think they're good.
I love you. I love you guys. I love my grandkids. I love my family. I love you both. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna stop the video. They didn't know I was in.